I'll blame her. Right, we should be live. My phone has gone off.
I think we're live. Says here we're live.
We are live.
Oh, we are live. All right. Howdy, people. We are back again with another lunchtime live. That should be a nice, quick, easy one. There we go. I can see it now. All right. I'm pinching an idea of what Dale sort of suggested.
You're not pinching it. It was just us talking.
But what I've done, I borrowed a design on a piece of plywood and then sketched out a puzzle design on some paper, and I've now glued it to the design, so no one will see the design until it's done. So, right, who we got in? I don't think we've got that many people in at the moment.
Oh, Fingers is in.
Howdy, Fingers.
I wasn't allowed in because I had a paper cut. Wasn't allowed in the Fingers Cut Club.
Oh, that's
Clearly,
terrible.
it's not severe enough. It's not severe enough.
So I think what we should do for the Fingers Club, it needs to be on camera or something.
Or hospitalization. I think there's a good bridge point kind of thing. Did you have to go to the quack?
That,
Did you have to
that
get
would,
things
that would be
reattached?
the maximum
Yeah.
level of Fingers Club.
Yeah.
Missing a bit of finger.
That's where how much debris was left after the incident. How many parts of you were still left on the tools?
Right, can't be as bad as Keith from the shed.
Oh
I think
wow! Yes,
he's definitely in the Fingers Club.
he's not in the Fingers Club. He doesn't have any. Perhaps not, but yeah.
No, his hands seem to be better now. But I watched the video when it happened, and it was like, oh.
It's a thumb on a rotor. It's a thumb on a rotor. That's the one that fills me with horror. You wake up in a cold sweat at night, catching it in a rotor table kind of thing, and just gouging a perfectly formed rebate all the way across the top of your thumb.
Ouch.
Zero.
So, right.
Finger says that would apply to him then, if it was hospitalization. Yeah. Yes, I think you definitely, sir. Definitely.
He's got the highest rank of in the
That's
Fingers Club, I'd say.
He wears one of those mad aprons and things, you know what I mean? And the keeper of the secret handshake, obviously.
So, right, I'll move the camera. So
Mike's in the chat.
Oh, howdy, Mike. Right, reposition. I don't know how much people are going to be able to see.
Well, that looks pretty good there. You don't get any. There's no white out in the design. It's good.
So yeah, the design is under there, and that just allows me to know which pieces to cut. All I'm going to do is literally quick blast out the sides so I can take this off, and then just work on each individual piece.
You've been very thorough. You've numbered them all. Look at that.
That was just so I knew which how many there was.
But you're gonna peel it off, right?
Yeah. Well, literally, there's the backing board for it. I don't know why I did it, but I just thought, yeah, well, something different. So
young Fingers is inquiring, how's young Mad Max?
Don't talk about Max right now. He's not in a very nice place. I'm debating about chucking him in the bin, labelling off to China. But he's been a rebel. I'll just put it like that.
He's a young lad, caged. I'm sure your story is very much happening across the world, kind of thing. Young lads caged because they can't get out, causing mayhem.
He's free, and he thinks he's Tarzan.
Okay.
That he can climb anything and everything and not get hurt.
don't crack onto him about gravity because he will fall off something then once he understands it.
The thing is, though, he'd climb, fall, and go back and climb.
That's all right. He's quite light, your Max, I would imagine, so he'll bounce at the minute.
Didn't everybody?
You know?
Well, it was funny because he was running out in the back garden, and because our back garden sloped, he just tripped a little bit, then face planted and skidded on the floor. And the funny thing is, he just got up and carried on. I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting you to have a little bit of a moan, but nope. So, right, enough babbling. I will mute myself, and what I'll do is I'll shunt them two in the back, and I will crack on.
Cool.
There we go. I'm not expecting this to take me that long because I'm using spiral blades and I know how to use them. So, right, let's go.
I meant to ask you, you're going to edge this? Yes, would be the answer. How the devil are you, Mr. Wayne? What shenanigans have you been up to since last night?
I have been. What have I been doing this morning? Oh, I've been cleaning all of Jane's gardening hand tools.
Yeah.
All the ones that got soaked in the shed.
Bit rusty.
Yeah, getting them cleaned up, getting them sharpened. So that's what I've been doing this morning.
Do you just use a wire brush, or do you use any treatments?
I've got a couple of sets of our secateurs sitting in vinegar at the moment.
Cool.
To get rid of the rust, see if the springs will sort themselves out.
That's cool.
And Jane has just been out power washing the shed, so it looks like I'm going to be painting that over the next few days.
Was that the sort of, there was no arrangement, she just went out and power washed the shed, so you can, right, it's clean, go paint it?
No. After she'd done the gates, I said, you might as well do the shed, get it power washed, and then I'll be able to get it sprayed. I think the weather's supposed to stay fairly nice over the next few days, so
cool.
Hopefully you get that done.
Let me think. Young Dan's in. And Jason. Currently tidying up the workshop, so jumping in and out. Jumping in and out of the workshop or the chat? Who's the wrong guy? Sorry, mate.
Who's Dan? No, yeah. It's not Dan, it's Mark.
No, it's not. I know it's Mark. It's because I've gone the wrong way. I'm sorry, mate. Brain was in neutral. I feel ashamed. I'm going to shut up now for a bit. No, I'm not. How is everyone else? Wooden or Jay? We should go Jay Dan just for completeness. Cool. The great thing about doing a puzzle one is you've not really got that much to when you're undoing. The amount of resetting and redoing the blade kind of thing when you're doing pin through is a lot less. So it's pretty cool when you're doing it on a saw without the kind of quick release clamps. Or as Axminster or as Pegasus like to refer to it, their blade chuck.
Blade chuck.
That's what they call that burgundy thing on mine, a blade chuck. Although, while it's very good, it looks to me like a clamp. I don't know. Chuck to me should be round. I don't know why.
Well, they do tend to be.
There's definitely a trend, what with the requirement of rotation. Whereas, although I could understand why they might want to call it a chuck, Here we go. Making a jigsaw puzzle is one of those cool. It's a cool one to do because you learn a lot of the specific skills when you're doing it. If you practice on making jigsaw puzzles, there's no cut you can't do pretty quickly. So it's a good one for spiral blade practice. The other thing to know about a spiral blade, folks, is if you break wind or sneeze or someone comes to talk to you, it'll just eat the wood in whichever direction you happen to be leaning at the time. That's why you see a lot of the folks who use spirals have got foot pedals.
Oh well.
They've got foot pedals so they can take the foot off the pedal and or adjust the speed using the variability. I think John C talks about it quite a bit. Whereas it's hard to have a foot pedal in the UK ones because of the non-return switch. So when the power goes off, because if you kill the power using if you put one of those pedals on, sort of thing, it's equivalent to an on-off switch. So it's quite hard to get by. You just can't put them on the saws that you certainly can in the US. There's a couple of good
that's
YouTube
videos. My rotary tool, the Axminster rotary tool that I've got, doesn't have a NVR switch. It's just got an on-off switch.
Yeah.
And then once it's switched on, it gets operated by the foot pedal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it might be, but I imagine it was born with that capability, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas the sort of putting one on any of the scroll saws that are available in the UK naturally is a non-starter because most of them now have NVRs. You'd be putting it, the way a lot of those also, a lot of the way that sort of, the kill switches, the on-off switches work is you plug the machine into the foot pedal and the foot pedal into the wall. You do that with an NVR, you can't turn it back on.
Yeah.
Midnight Joker says there's a couple of good vids where people add quick releases like from a bike wheel to excuse me, to tension and tighten the blade. That sounds interesting. You should send me a link to those if you have them, and we'll put them in the chat. I spend my day on this headset, just this weather. I keep having to plug it in to charge it. It's one of those things. Should get one with just a cable again, just so it's always working. Cool. Thanks, Mike. Ten people in, Nick. We were getting a briefing this morning that we're expecting full lockdown to continue until the end of May.
Well, I can see it happening. I don't think they're going to. There's been nothing on the news this morning apart from talking about when's it going to start easing and everything. And realistically, it can't ease until we've gone over the peak, which we won't do. I don't think we'll do that for another couple of weeks yet.
They're worried about a second wave and it's having to do lockdown again. That's kind of where the story is. That's why they're so keen to get these tests out to see who's immune, and start allowing folks to get back to work. Another economy, it's still that same herd immunity idea, but
yeah,
just executed differently. Any news on Boris?
No, still in intensive care, but stable.
Let's hope he's all right. I'd hate to be in his position.
Well, Jane was saying last night, why is he in intensive care if he's not on either a CPAP or being intubated? Because he's just he's either got a nasal cannula in or he's wearing a mask. One of the two.
maybe we're getting a different story than is actually going on. Kind of the intensive care thing comes out first, and then someone's shit. No, don't say that. We'll have everyone panic. Look at the markets; they're all collapsing, and the idea he's not well.
Mm.
So we might be getting I mean, that's just a view, an edited version of the truth. I don't wish him no harm. But he is a frickin' plum. He's a gentleman of unique characteristics. I agree. But what a trial by fire for a new prime minister.
Oh, aye.
Oops. Bit of a popped off.
Did that jump off there?
I think it might have. All good.
No, it's not.
Did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had a feeling it was gonna.
You can when you're watching. I mean, Charles uses nothing but spirals, but you can hear the note and the saw changing 5 or 10 minutes out. The actual, the sound of how it's cutting starts to change.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to do with Pegasus blades, but you can still hear it. In fact, you can feel it kind of starting to go. It stretches.
Yeah,
and snaps.
That's what I felt on that one, that it was literally taking longer to cut.
Yeah.
So it was just like, right, you're going to go in a minute. But at least that bottom clamp's holding up.
One of the things Charles does is he preloads his blades. If you know what I mean, he's got like a few blades hanging up, preloaded on at least one clamp, sort of thing, to allow him to swap blades. Because Charles, well, there was one portrait he did live where I think he must have broke about 8 blades.
Well, I'm just hoping that I don't break any more, because this is literally the last number one I've got.
That'll change the look of the thing. If you go to something bigger, the gap will be bigger.
That's the next one I've got.
What, number 2 or number 3?
3.
3, I think. Oh, yeah. That's quite a bit wider.
Yeah.
A lot looser fit.
That's why I tried to do it with number 1s, because then the gap won't be so big. If I have to jump up to number 3, then I'll have to jump up to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just order some more number 1s later.
eBay is the place I ordered mine from. Axminster, about 8 dozen number 1s, which are granted Pegasus flats for like 20 quid off of eBay, and they were from Axminster.
I don't know how much I paid for mine, or where I got them from. Probably might have been eBay.
Yeah, it's not bad. A wee bit more. Close. Yeah, that's close enough.
So when the first time I did it, and JP come in, and it was like, it's too loose. I'm like, I've got to do it loose enough, because it's a thin blade, and I haven't got no speed control on this. So it was just like,
in for a penny, in for a pound.
There we go. Right. A quick slurp of coffee.
Well, it's supposed to be Dr. Pepper if you're doing a Charles Deering picture. You then got to wind up on the floor at some stage.
Unfortunately, this is a custom one.
Yeah. Oh, you've got grand done.
You actually saw the design last night, didn't you?
I did. It looked really good, mate. It did indeed.
And if people had keen eyes, they would have actually seen at the top of the frame what it was called.
It was written on the bit of wood right at the start.
Right, I will mute myself and hope to my feet that this blade doesn't snap. So, right, here goes.
Here we go again. It's going to be a nice chunky jigsaw too, with nice thick pieces. Almost child safe. Almost child safe.
Almost.
So there's a high road picture hiding underneath the pattern.
All right.
So it's not just a puzzle, but there's actually a picture underneath the pattern that Nick pyroed in to it. So it should be quite an interesting piece when it comes out, because obviously it's a proper jigsaw puzzle by any stretch, but it's done using pyro and scroll saw.
Right. Mike's put a link in. Obviously, it's not a link, but or is Mike got a spanner?
The Mike's not got a spanner. He says he's going to look them up. I can't find the tensioning video, but it's pretty easy. You're just replacing the tensioning knob with a quick release head. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Andy Heels in the chat. Sorry, mate. Go on.
He's just popped in. He's doing some gardening this morning at work.
Yeah. But back to work. I hear that. I have 2 interviews to give some folks remotely, which means I'll need 5 minutes to put my shirt and tie on.
All right.
Yeah, you've got to give them an impression of the organization, kind of thing, rather than sitting around here in my Pikachu onesie.
So, when you're doing interviews normally, do you just do face-to-face interviews? Do they have any projects or anything to do?
So the way I like to do for the type of roles, like what they call a developer, software developer role. What we do is we take them across the first interviews with myself and a product owner and an HR lady, and what we do is we test them a whole bunch of stuff in conversation. I'm a great believer for certain people. Some of the skills you can only get through experience. Really, doesn't matter where they learn to become a developer at uni or not. The technology shifts at quite a pace. So you're looking for, have you done this? Have you done that? Where have you done this? How does that work? Talk to me in detail about how you approach that. And then what we'll do is we'll move into getting them to do some testing.
Right.
Okay, we want you to write some regular expressions that do this, or and I'll pass that to my development lead, who's in the US, to work that one out. And then he goes right down the rabbit hole with them. Whereas what I kind of want to do is, if they don't look like they're going to fit, they don't know the basics.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to waste one of my key resource on it. Besides, I've got to get team fit right. No point if they're just not going to be team fit. There's no point in us spending time working out just how good the skills are, because that takes a bit of time to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Steve's
so
in. SK Crafts.
Hi, Steve.
So Andy's saying he's got to go back to work, Nick, but it looks cool.
I'm looking forward to this long weekend.
So I nearly said it again there. So is everybody packing in tomorrow from working at home and having the whole weekend off, or what?
I am.
All right.
I'm kind of wrapping up at about just before the lunchtime live I'm doing tomorrow, and then that'll be me until Tuesday morning. Well, I say that, I mean, the likelihood is I'll go back to doing some work at some point over the weekend, but just to try and get ahead of the curve a little bit. But we're moving to a scenario where we have 48 people in furlough, but they're sales folk, if that makes sense. So they do door-to-door sales, which they can't do, and there's only so many of them you can repurpose into something gameful. But they're kind of we're topping up the 80% they're getting from the government, so that's all right.
So Steve's enjoying the sun doing a rubber roof.
Cool. I'm a fan of an EPDM roof. I put 2 of them on the 2 buildings I've got out the back.
So Mark's on call from his work all the time now that he's working from home.
Oh. I make an effort to walk away and take my phone.
I am so pleased I'm not working.
Well, like I say, we've got that group of people who are, you know, I mean, we'd had to have made them redundant if we couldn't have furloughed them. We really, we want to keep that. This is through no fault of themselves or the companies. So, you know, you're kind of doing. We're doing what we can to put. Yeah, we can. We go on.
Go on.
You go on.
With the work I was in, it guaranteed I would have been doing overtime. Guaranteed.
SK says the same as I think. Much better than the felt. Biggest.
How
big
much
one.
how much more expensive is it though?
So I think it's probably 2.5 to 3 times as expensive, depending on whether you're buying one of the kits. If you buy a kit, if you're buying a kit of it, I think, I mean, certainly from my experience, like I bought a kit for the workshop's roof, which was only, you know, £400 for what's effectively a 20 by 4 workshop. You know, I mean, in terms of 20 meters. No, that's not right. But 5 meters by 4 meters workshop. And it comes with the edge stuff and all that, like for clamping it and locking it down. So you're not putting the same pins in. It comes with the glue and all of that. Whereas the 30 square meter one I put on the garden studio, that was about $1,000, but you couldn't have done it with felt, really, and be comfortable that it was within me. Yeah, it's about 2.5 times, but it's exactly what it's about. Yeah, 2.5 to 3 times more expensive. But my word, mate, it just seals it. You know, just seals it. 25 years, and you can get treatments for it. I mean, we did it because we want to put a green roof in the garden studio. That was the plan for this year. So it's kind of like a full seal sort of thing. But yeah, great stuff. What a difference. As and when, you know,
you could afford it for the shed.
As and when the shed the roof finally gives up the ghost, have a look. The kits are definitely cheaper because it's already it's already pre-cut and to the size and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, about 2.5, great stuff. We did a fiberglass roof on the workshop first. GDPR. Is that GPR? Yeah, GRP. Aha, there we are. GRP. And it was a nightmare. Yep, one piece up to 100 square meters. Though I'm putting 100 square meter one down might be an entertaining exercise, just manhandle it, because the 30 square meter one was like a dead body trying to get up onto the roof.
Oh,
what we needed was a couple of firemen to help us get it up, and no, it was definitely a heavy old thing.
I'm just trying to think what size that roof is. The shed's 20 foot by 10 foot, so you might as well call that 6 by 3.
Yeah.
6 by 3, but it's got a pitched roof, so it's going to be bigger than 3 meters if you include the pitch.
Yeah.
Probably 6 by 4.
Probably not a lot then. Probably a few £100.
See, a few £100. I only paid. How many rolls do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. £100 for the felt.
Yeah. Felt's what, 10 years though?
I don't know. I'll be dead in 10 years.
No, you won't.
I will.
20 says you won't. You're a stubborn bugger. You won't be dead. Going, I'm having nothing to do with this, and you're not going to just try. You're not just going to die just to be spiteful. Go, fuck. Sorry. To hell with that Kirkwood chap. To hell with that Kirkwood chap. No, just to win the bet. What?
I'll get that 20 off
him. Brian McLaughlin.
Brian's asking. Okay, right. I worked in the care sector, Brian. I was a registered nurse, but I worked in social care. I was training manager for a care at home company latterly, but I was one of these flexible types who did just about everything, including going out to do the home visits as well. So in the situation that we are in at the moment, I would have been going out and doing care as well. I have received a letter email from Nursing and Midwifery Council to see if I want to go back onto the register during this time. But realistically, because of Jane's underlying medical conditions, I can't really do that. So that's what I used to do.
Steve's saying, go to Permaroof website and use their kit maker. It will give you the price for everything.
All right, okay.
We'll probably have a fiddle and have a look, mate, see what you get. What I tended to do was use there's a local guy, local company does it, so kind of good. And this is the size I need. You know, these three are this is the drip line, these three aren't, kind of things. So, and then you just give me everything I needed: kits, the kit, the glue, the caps, the nails for fixing it in. It's really good. So good that then we did the big one that way. But 173 meters, having to forklift it to the roof, I could totally get. I mean, be like 2 or 3 dead, be like 2 or 3 dead men kind of thing, humping that up onto the roof. And I use the term 2 or 3 because it depends whether or not they were fat blokes or not.
So Mark's planning on doing a bitumen corrugated roof onto his workshop.
Oh, I'd do the rubberized one. I totally get it, but I'd just do, OSB 3 and an EPDM. It was so easy. Like I say, the GRP fiberglass roof that we got done on top of what was the guest room has been an absolute pest. That's getting replaced, or was getting replaced this summer.
All right.
It's leaked. It leaked twice now. The leak is just in an awkward. It's just to the edge kind of thing where it's clearly had an impact or something. It's not the point. Just not the point. It has no give to physical damage. Whereas the rubber has been fantastic because you watch birds drop shit on it all the time. I don't mean drop bird shit. But they drop, whatever they manage to wahoo, they'll throw it to the ground because it looks like concrete or whatever. Not concrete, tarmac. It's good. You'll see when you're down. Oh, Baz is in. Or is it becoming a theme? Hello, Dan. When Dan comes in, I'm going to get his name wrong. Watch. Yeah, I 100% agree.
We've got sort of above our living room deal.
Uh-huh.
That's a flat roof and that's fiberglass, and we've never had any problems with it whatsoever.
Yeah, it might be it depends. Was that like a single piece though? Did it arrive manufactured or was it applied to the surface?
I can't remember.
Because if it was done in a factory, I could totally get it, kind of thing. But the GRP, when you're applying it to the roof, I mean, for a start, the smell is horrific as you're applying it, and then it it creaked and cracked, and the heat. I mean, you've got to put layers and layers of the gel coat on it to protect it. It's just no, never again. Maybe at the bottom of a pond, but no, never again. And you know me,
so Mercia Island Wood Turner is asking, where did Nick get the puzzle pattern from? Can it be downloaded? I think he did it himself. Am I right, Nick? Yeah, he designed it himself.
Are you going to share it, Nick?
I could, but the thing is, it was basically just drawn on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't on the design of the computer or anything.
Okay, okay. So short answer is no, I think then, Miss.
No, I probably can transfer it onto the computer and do it that way.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to design for it, then I can definitely try and work something out with it. So.
Yep.
Right, who's coming that I've missed?
Oh, you've loads of people, mate. You've got Mercier Island, Mercier Island Woodturner. You've got Barry from Real Simple Things. You've got obviously you'd Fingers, SK Steve from SK Crafts. 50V's just come in. You've got various Dans.
I get that they're not called Dan, but
No, they're not called Dan. No, there's none of them. But there's none of them called Dan.
well, I'll just say howdy to everybody that I've missed.
And Fred Taylor's just popped in.
Oh, howdy, Fred. So, right, slurp of coffee again before it goes cold.
So you're going to put this puzzle together while we're on camera?
I can do if it don't take me that long.
I've got 25 minutes, kind of thing. So I might need to watch it. I might need to watch a replay to see it done.
Okay. Is that you with a jewelry box thing?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, when you're in someone's lives and I hear it, I'm like, who's that coming from?
All it does make me want a 99. I can't help myself.
Actually, yeah, they're not called 99s anymore. Well,
Really?
They are called 99s, but they don't cost 99p.
That's a nightmare. That's false advertising.
It's blasphemy. That's what that is.
It's just I mean that's the whole reason for going to a
They
missing
never
weapon.
used to cost 99p. Not when I was a kid, anyway.
2/8 and threepence.
I was going to say, I think there's a big age difference from when
I
you
don't know. I have no idea what the monetary system actually worked like prior to decimal because I was born into decimal. I mean, I remember a bag of Tudor crisps costing 2p. Tudor crisps, good lord, didn't they become Walkers, or were they always Walkers? I can't remember.
No, no Tudor. Because it was a canny bag. Because it was a canny bag of Tudor.
The furthest I can remember is when Freddo's used to be 10p.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I can remember. I can remember getting a pint for 10p.
Bloody hell.
That's because you threatened to demolish the pub, though. Is because you were already.
No, that was the price.
To be honest, I can actually imagine Wayne doing that.
Here's how it's gonna go. Here's gonna go. What we're gonna do is,
I'll have pints for 10p, or I will take your pub down by brick.
we've got a bulldozer in the car park.
Oh, howdy, Scott. Right, let's get this done. To be honest, looking at that, where are we? I ain't really got that much left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, good. I reckon it's about an hour and a half piece.
I'm trying to leave it so these lines here are the ones that's left.
Yeah.
So then I can just quickly knock them out.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Right, here goes nothing. And please, God, no, not good. Please scroll saw people. Don't let this snap.
God of scroll saw.
Scott's in.
Oh,
Scott, I'm going to ask you a question. Scott, do you have a blue light discount card? Now that's a very specific question, which I'm assuming you know, Scott. It's called a blue. Yeah, it's a blue light card. Cool. They are quite well spread and well used. I have a meeting. When I leave this live, the meeting I'm going into is to allow us to hook our broadband service up to the blue light card. So everyone who's in the NHS, police, the armed forces, the border forces, the army, and all those folks can get can get our service in London at a pretty heavy discount. So watch for that popping up.
Is that going on to the defence discount card as well?
Yes, well, yeah. So I mean, the armed forces are on that. RNLI, Air Force, Royal Marines, Royal Navy, Search and Radio, second line responders, social care workers, St Andrews Ambulance, St John's Ambulance, Visa and Immigration, Her Majesty's Coast Guard, Her Majesty's Prison Service, Police, the MOD Police, the MOD Fire Service, Mountain Rescue, everyone in the NHS, the Police, the Immigration Enforcement, the Lowland Search and Rescue, Her Majesty's Armed Forces Veterans, Her Majesty's Coast Guard, Highways England Traffic Officer, Fire Service, 4x4 Response, Ambulance Service, Blood Bikes, Border Force, British Army, Cave Rescue, and Community First Responders.
Oh, yeah.
We're not in Sussex, I'm afraid, Scott, but we will be. Teachers aren't listed on this one, Andy. But that doesn't mean that they aren't. That's just for the list that I've got in front of me. And we're going in to work out how we can make our service available on the card, which I expect to be an absolute breeze for us to do for them. So yes, if you're in central London and some of the edges of London, and we're in your area, we will be offering a huge discount to gigabit broadband and all of the services we have underneath that. And that's entirely in response to the situation we're in. I think we might be the first company in the UK from a telecoms perspective to really do it at the scale we're promising. I think EE might be the only other ones. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so hats off to those boys and girls. It's all going terribly serious. So cool.
I might have a look at the defence discount page, see what discounts they're offering at the moment.
You should definitely do so, sir. You should definitely do so. And if you've got any information on it, please flick it to me, and I'll integrate it, get it integrated if we can into our offering, because there must be a few boys and girls from Her Majesty's Armed Forces loitering in and around London.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, there's the defence discount card, and there's also what's the other one? Rewards for Forces. That's the
Rewards
other
for Forces.
Yeah.
I'm writing this down. Look, I'm working here. Cool. Because if we're going to do one, we want to make sure we get everyone we can to help. Everyone who's helping with us. Good. So you're at work today, Scott?
Yeah, he said he's on a break.
Andy, ask about what. Ask about. There must be a similar thing for teachers. So if you can find something for teachers, drop me a note. Let me know. And we're trying to get hooked up with a company called Biopower to do the same thing for folks that work in supermarkets, Binman, and all those guys.
Scott's on an unofficial break.
I like unofficial breaks.
I used to have that many unofficial breaks in all my working life. I think let's see, how many years did I work? Retired at 65, 40, 48, 49 years out in my working life. I think I only must have worked 20 of them.
Good God, if we're going with that kind of rule, given I've been in IT for this long, I should probably have retired 15 years ago. You know, it's one of those sort of things. That's why you keep hearing me talk about, right, I'm done when I'm 55. I'm done when I'm 55. I won't stop when I'm 55, but I like the idea of it.
Oh, Jane did. Jane when she was 55. That's when Jane retired.
I just don't think I'll stop. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think I'll stop. I'll be like a drug addict kind of thing, going back, or a blokes in the forces going back for one more tour. Something like that. To be fair, they get paid really well, and the best part of quarter of a year off.
Yeah.
But yeah, but what we're trying to do is everyone who has to work it as part of the thing, we're trying to do something.
Right, you're probably going to hear some noise from the dogs here. I think Jane's just about to come in the house.
Britain's going to lose it.
All three of them will.
Mike says, found a spectacular magnolia trunk in my woodpile today with about 8-inch diameter and 2 foot high. It forks, but the forks twist around each other, looking for inspiration on what to do with it.
Ooh. See, that all depends. And if the forks twist around each other, have they actually conjoined or are they still separate?
It's a good shout. That's quite a stable. Well, doesn't look like that vibrates too much. So. As I remember, my first one was an absolute catastrophe.
Mike's saying that he thinks the
conjoined
fork in the thing is conjoined. So I'd try turning the natural edge bowl out of it. But just be careful, just in case it's not conjoined. Oh, there they go. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Maybe they're kind of getting used to the idea that no worries, Scott, off you go. Good luck, mate.
Oh, Dale, to answer your question, when you said that this don't seem to vibrate that much.
Yeah.
The scroll saw is bolted to, as you can see there.
Yeah.
And then I've literally got my feet on it at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
it's vibration elimination by Nick.
Yeah, my feet a nice little massage.
Do you have shoes on when you're doing it? No, I'm joking.
To be honest, though, I do put shoes on now and again just to throw people off.
I mean, this case of it's become a trademark, mate. You should almost name yourself that, the Barefoot Woodturner.
No, there's actually someone who's already got the name.
Really? I didn't.
Barefoot Bushcraft.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
He's a guy from Australia. I think he's from.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, you could say with a name like Woodcraft kind of thing, you have this idea of someone who goes on walkabouts kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but I did.
That's not a bow gouge. This is a bow gouge.
I'm pretty sure that's what Wayne said to me. With the bow gouge that I had, the one that he sent me.
That would work better. That would work better with Jay saying out in the chat, probably.
David's just said that his dogs have just heard my dogs, and now they're really out the back to see what's going on.
To be honest, them pieces that I've just took out ain't took me that long to do, really.
It's doing well, mate. I bet the pyro took a while, though, right? So, I mean, this is, yeah.
I wouldn't say so. It's probably going to take me longer to cut this out than it did to pyro it.
So the whole piece would be, what, a couple of hours, 3 hours, something like that, by the time you're done?
Yeah, it's about that.
Jay's having a laugh kind of thing. That's not a bow gouge.
Let's get this finished.
Do you see, you wouldn't get that necessarily strapped to the front of a road truck, a bow gouge. It has gone very quiet. I mean, did Jane actually come in, or was it like a false alarm?
No, she's got them outside at the moment.
That's probably what they run around going, right, what was going on? Nothing. Right, go. No, nothing. Oh. Other dog shouting at Bryn. Bryn, there's nothing. Bryn. Bryn, calm down, mate. Bryn.
Oh, he bloody got out through the fence when somebody was walking by yesterday.
But he's not a vicious dog. He's just an overly excitable, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
slobbery
I mean, it was a
slobberer.
it was a family group with their dog,
Uh-huh.
so he wanted to go and play, so he got out through the fence.
Give shades of a dog version of The Great Escape, kind of thing. And for the life of me, I can't think of the theme tune.
So Andy's just said the best film quote has been rattling about in his head, and he's got a new favourite.
What's that, Andy? What's the new favourite? A pencil. He killed him with a pencil. I thought it was death by teacup, kind of thing. Nick did well there. He held off cutting off that piece at the end and stuck to the plan. The temptation must be huge to just start trimming off the ones that are easier to do. Who does that? I mean, a pencil. What was the film, Andy?
That was John Wick #1, I think.
Was it? I was dancing around
I
the
may well be
Chronicles of
wrong on
Riddick.
that one.
I first
Well,
thought
yeah,
it was
the
Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Riddick was what you said.
Yeah,
the teacup
the
one.
teacup, death by teacup.
Yeah,
John Wick
it
one.
was John Wick 1. I thought it was.
Unfortunately, every time I see Ian McShane, even in person now, I think of the tiger from Kung Fu Panda. Every time I see, even in John Wick, all I can see is the panda from. I can see the tiger from Kung Fu Panda. Oh,
Nick's put us all back on screen again.
Hello, Nick. We've all pop-headed on screen.
Don't think there was any need for that, Nick.
Oh yeah, it's just. Oh, he's had enough. Did the blade go?
Yeah, it bounced out.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like I'm going to now upgrade to number 3s. Yay. Hopefully don't take that much out.
So what I'm going to do here, mate, is I've got to dance back into work. So I'm going to bow out, if that's okay.
No bother. I will speak to you tonight.
No worries, sir. Nick, that's looking awesome, mate. Can't wait. I'm going to try and drop in again. Might be in the chat in about half an hour, see where you're at. All right.
Well,
All right, folks. Take it easy. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Stay well. All that kind of stuff. Bye.
See you soon.
Oh, what if I've actually got the right bit to take out this bloody bit at the bottom? Oh, come on. It ain't tighten me that much. There we go. Oh. My bit's fallen off.
That's what she said.
There we go. So the only thing with this is the clamp at the bottom. The hole for it is that small. It takes a while to actually find it. And then I have to hope that I've actually put it in the right place. I'm expecting another, that's what she said. Thank God I said all this when Dale wasn't in. Because I kind of get the feeling that there would have been multiple, that's what she said. Oh, I know it ain't. I thought I was doing one of my other pieces where I had to put it through a hole. Nope. Oops, squeaky. To be honest, I wish this lathe wasn't as noisy as it is. Well, unfortunately, I'm guessing that it's an old lathe. I've actually got to make a new one of these little plates.
Yeah.
Where? Go and get it and come back in. Please.
See, if I play guitar, this would be easy. I'll try to get an app so it can tell me what note it is. But none of the
I couldn't tell you.
no, it's just like every app I used, it kept saying it was different notes. It's just like, oh, right, okay. I won't use them then. I'll just try and do it from memory. Right. I doubt I've got much left, so I'd say probably another half hour, probably.
Right.
So I'll go back to mute, and I'll hopefully, if a blade doesn't snap, I'll talk to you all once I'm done.
No bother. No bother. So David's asking me what I'm doing tonight. That's a very good question, David. What am I going to do tonight? I think I'm going to do. It's going to be, or I'll be using a piece of ash. It's probably going to involve some texturing and probably some burning as well. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to do a bowl or if I'm going to do a vase shape yet, or what. The thing with doing the vase shape things is that it does involve hollowing out, and that can be pretty boring for people that are watching, which is why I don't really like doing the hollow forms and vase things during my lives. On the other hand, I've got a nice piece of yew there that I could do a nice natural edge bowl with. I'll wait until I get back out into the cave and see which piece comes to hand first. I'm starting at 8 o'clock, Brian. Right, so we've had two people, both David and Mark, have said that David said that he likes you, and Mark is saying he's not sure if he can make the live, but he'd rather see the you. Okay, that's that sorted. I'll do the you. It'll not be a big bull, but it'll be an interesting one. I just might do a natural edge U-bull using the whole of the log rather than so leaving the pith in and everything, just for a change. So, seeing as how they've been sitting for 10 years, Mike, have they got a lot of cracks in them now? Don't use up all the U, Andy. Bring some of it to make it central. Yes, David, it was nice to see some new folk in and joining in with the chat. Ash Witherwell, all woods will crack if they're left for any length of time without being sealed. But ash, I mean, if you just look at ash the wrong way, it'll crack. So Andy's just saying he's got enough for makers and to have a separate pile as well. Well done, Andy. Oh, the table's on the move.
Oh, I did that quicker than I thought. Right, let's just move this up so people can see. There we go. Alright. Actually, I won't use that because I've got to do something else with that yet. Right, get over there. Get over there. Now, the fun thing is, I've now got to peel
Remember the numbers, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Thing is, I've got a good idea of where each one of them goes.
That's what you're saying.
I am debating whether to paint this or just leave it as it is. I think if it was one of the other pieces that the other bits of plywood that I ran out of, then I probably would have left it as it was. But because this is darker, I might just paint it. Oh, come on, get off. Now, like Dale, I ain't got no. Well, Dale uses sticky labels, sort of thing. I didn't have any, so I basically had to use double-sided tape. I guess in a way it'll be the same sort of thing. Just might be a bit trickier to get off.
Is it non-tack tape? If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just some double-sided tape.
Because if you are thinking about painting it, it might need a rub over with some methylated spirits in case there's any tackiness left.
No, I'm just feeling it, and there ain't no stickiness left on it. But I might just give it a rub over anyway, just in case.
Yeah, well, a light sand should do it as well.
I've got to be careful with sanding it because of the pyro.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But even if I do sand, some of the design comes off, I can easily just go back over it with the pyro.
Andy's been watching Jonathan Whittaker carving. Yes, he's very good, isn't he, Andy? I met him last year. Had a couple of drinks with him last year at Minka Central.
Right. Now I can see all the numbers. Number two. Oh, I've already done number 2. Need number 3. There's 5. I haven't dropped any. There it is. Instead of where's Wally, it's where's number. Or I might actually have to re-pyro some of it. This was just basically a scrap bit of plywood I got because I ran out of my usual stuff. And the bits I have got left, I've kind of made a mess on them because I put it on top of the bed for the lathe.
Right. So Andy's work day is nearly finished. He's only got 50 minutes left.
Good. See, if it weren't for my back, I'd be working. It annoys me that I've got a back problem and that I've been advised not to work just because of the medication. But hopefully with these new patches I'm on, I might just say screw it, I'll go back to work. It's one of them, it's like I either stay at home and do nothing or go to work and possibly do more harm than good to myself.
So Mark, Shop Dog Workshop, did a bit of pyro himself this morning.
Oh, cool. Did you pyro?
And his workshop is clean and tidy again.
Do you
want to come down and do mine, Mark?
I was just going to say the same thing. I clean mine last week, I think it was. It was nice and tidy. And then Stace done a live, and it basically went back to normal. To be honest, the only bits I normally clean is around the lathe. Many bits that people can see. Oh, come on, get off. Also, I might actually invest in some of them sticky labels that Dale uses. Oh, probably. Which way did it go? Which way did you go? Oh, there. Oh. I don't think this will be a puzzle that I'll give the kids. Mainly because of the interlocking bits. They're more likely to snap them off. Oh, what are we on? 210. To be honest, peeling these off is probably going to take us just as long as we scrolling it.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
You found another peg.
Found another peg. It's a good day today. But I found two.
Wow. Yay. I'm so excited that you found another peg.
When are you going to go out and get me some more pegs?
Sorry, I've already been outside today. I'm only laid out once, I forget.
And where you been?
Back garden.
Andy's saying his workshop needs cleaning more than yours or mine, Nick. I don't think so somehow, Andy.
I don't know. It's debatable. I've got.
And Mike is carving a Samoan war club from a hickory pickaxe handle,
Ooh.
purely for decorative purposes, of course. Yeah, right.
Have you just? I know you swore then. I guess that was payback for me saying that I ain't going out.
Is it good enough? You don't even know.
I knew you did it.
No, you don't.
I did.
No.
I did.
No.
Oh, shut up,
Shut up.
Brummy.
Go, Joe.
You said go jump. There we go. I ain't going to say what I was going to say then. Not live anyway.
Well, you can't see any worse than calling her a brummy.
Well, yeah, I suppose. It's all right. She had something yesterday. She had like this posh donut. I was like, bloody hell, you got a posh brummy around down here? I get the feeling I'm about to get a kick up the arse. Nope, I'm safe. Right, I forgot what number it was. 8, there we go. Or rather secret about wood chips or plastic dust. To be honest, I'm glad I finally stopped smoking and went into the vape. Oh, that one of them's actually got a bit of stickiness on it. That was 10, 11. Yeah, I counted up to 11. Oh, that's peeling some of the bark off it. I only get the feeling I shouldn't pick this piece of wood.
I don't like editing either, Mike. Doing videos. Dave, when I first started doing videos, I just used my phone as the camera.
Most people do nowadays. Where's this go? Okay.
Oh, Joy's in. Hey, Joy.
Howdy, Joy. Oh,
See you later, Mark. Mark's away.
see you later, Mark.
And Andy's away too. He's got to go and start locking up
Let's see.
to end his working week. Mind you, this was the start of his working week as well.
Oh, I missed the pic. What? Where did you go? No, don't go there. Do you go there? No, you don't go there. Oh my god, this is going to be a game and a half. Let's leave that one.
Mind you, it comes to a thing when you can't put a jigsaw together and you've got the numbers on there.
It won't be so bad, but I'm the one who made it. So you think because I made it that I'd know where to go?
See you later, Andy.
I found it. See you later, Andy. But I do get the feeling I'm going to have to re-pyro some of this. I wish I don't have to, but because basically, because of that.
Oh, it's time to strip it.
Yeah. This was.
I think that's why Deal uses the really cheap labeling thing. The laser labels, the really cheap ones, because they're not as sticky as the good ones.
See, normally I use the birch plywood. There's nothing to peel off.
Mm-hmm.
But because I don't have no thick plywood. I was stuck with this bit.
And Mike's saying that Nick cut it quicker than he's going to put it together.
See, I knew it wasn't going to take me that long to cut it because I'm using spiral blades. I know how to use them. And plus, I think Dale said that spiral blades are kind of better for doing puzzles. I don't know if he said it earlier. I know he said it to me ages ago. I can't remember if he said it earlier. Hey, I missed 10. I've jumped a number. Whoops.
So Mike's asking, did you lacquer it before you put the sticky on, Nick?
No, I wish I did. I did the pyro last night. And to be honest, I wish I had actually lacquered it because then it probably would have given it less chance of pulling up the plywood. But the thing is, I plan to paint it, and I didn't really want to paint on top of lacquer.
Yeah. The other thing you could have done was use a low-tack masking tape.
I did have some of that. I don't know why I don't think of it. Then again, I was probably being lazy because I had the double-sided tape in front of me. So it's probably just like, I'll use that. It's here. I ain't going downstairs. To be honest, some of these bits are coming off quicker than others.
Yeah. Right, Jay's he's going back to bed.
Night, Jay. I'll see you later if you're awake.
And David says he uses blue tape.
Blue tape. Oh, like the decorator's tape. Yeah, most decorators use masking tape, don't they?
Joy's replying to Brian. Brian was saying that he was going to get some shavings burnt once the neighbour took a washing in, and Joy's replying, "You should do it at night time, Brian, with a beer and a burger."
That sounds like a plan. Minus the beer. Oh, right. I just found where this went. Not there. Yeah, it is there. Right, where's that other chair? There it is. Expecting stuff to fall. Oh yeah, see, yeah. This one was going to fall.
So Joy's just said, Nick, try root beer.
Oh no, I've tried it before. Don't like it.
Look, first name that comes to your head.
I can't really see it. First name that comes to my head. Oh, need more wine.
I could feel the virtual slap to the back of the head.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have done, mate. I'd slap you. Oh, this is a bit more comfy. I can sit down. My back was kind of swearing at me. I'm hoping that it doesn't peel the wine off too much.
Joy's just said hello to Stace. You can hear her.
Sometimes I wish I couldn't. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. I would say hello for you, Joy, but she's kind of wandered off. Sad thing is, I can hear her when she shouts me, but she can't hear me when I shout her.
So Brian said he's going to have the Chimera, I never know how to pronounce that, will still be burning tonight with the amount of shavings he's got, and he will be having a Talisker to go with it. One of Dale's favourite whiskies, that is.
See, I'm boring. When I did drink, I used to drink vodka, the Russian standard stuff, and then when I noticed that it was taking way too long to get me hammered, and plus I was getting bored of the taste, I upgraded myself to Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Thank you, Joy.
Chimera. That sounds a bit like, well, it don't sound like, I mean, that's just as hard to pronounce as the word that comes out in the video Friday. Still can't pronounce it. In both my video and Stacey's video, you kind of see us struggling to try and pronounce it. quite funny when you try and watch it back and you just see me struggle to pronounce a word. And in my video on Friday, there is a blooper at the end.
All right.
Me and Stace, when it happened, Stace went, "You got to leave that in as a blooper." I was like, "I was going to anyway." Just luckily there was no kids about when it happened. I'm wishing I actually ordered some plywood, some of this birch plywood, so the design would have come through a lot better. Oh my god, where do you go? I can't remember what number I'm on. Whose idea was it to number them? No, you don't go there.
So Joy has said, Nick, stop struggling with the numbers and just put the thing together the old-fashioned way by shape and image.
To be honest, I normally would do like the corners first and then do the outside and then do the middle, but because this is odd shaped, can't really do that. And to be honest, I think I've jumped up a number, so I'll do number 50. I know where that goes. This is what happens when you don't have a reference piece to
work from. Hi.
because I wanted to do it from like just off the top of my head, so it'd be random. I knew I'd jumped up a number. I do apologise to the people that are in. If this is boring, just watching me trying to struggle. I'm guessing it's entertaining watching me struggle with a jigsaw that I've made myself. This is normally when I do it in the videos, I literally just speed it up with me putting it together. Right, where do you go? Where do you go? You go there. And then you don't go there. Whoops. Where do you go?
So Joyce said, all the edge pieces are flat on one side, corners are rounded, etc., 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 and the grain should count as part of the image.
That's what I did do with one of my other designs. I literally looked at where the grain went. And then I kind of put it together before. I've actually got to edit that video. I put it together before I coloured it. To be honest, this is actually easier than using the birch plywood because that's a light colour, so the grain isn't that easy to notice. You go there? No, you go no, yeah, you go there. I don't remember where that piece goes. There we go. So See, I tried to do it where one was up there and it went down, back up, down, constantly like a worm sort of or snake pattern. Well, I don't think it's going to take much longer.
Now,
So Joy saying she's got nowhere else to be. Got a letter from the government yesterday, basically saying that the quarantine has been extended until the end of April.
Ooh. Well, they keep saying to us, don't they? It wouldn't last as long if people actually
Did what
say,
they were told.
yeah. It's like we do that anyway. We only really go out if we need to get food, and that's it. But it's just like the amount of cars that are on the road around here, you'd think that there wasn't even a lockdown.
Everything's fairly quiet up here.
I wish it was around here. The only thing I have noticed is the lack of sirens going past.
All right.
We're right by a main road, and normally every time an ambulance or cop car, or basically all of the siren things, you basically hear it. And some of the big lorries.
No, sorry, Joy's saying that it was a text message and all of that.
I say weird
Um,
message.
well, we got a letter through the other day with an advice leaflet in there.
I think that's probably the same thing that we had.
Yeah. Mike saying he was planning to procrastinate this afternoon, but he might have to put it off till tomorrow. Next one, Mike.
Right. You.
No, and David saying over in Northern Ireland, there's been a lot of people coming up to the north coast this past few days. I tell you, David, idiots all over the place.
Is Ireland still on complete lockdown?
Are you talking about Ireland or Northern Ireland? Ireland. Ireland, as far as I'm aware, it's still on complete lockdown.
Because they weren't allowing any mail, was they, or votes or anything? But I was like wondering how that was actually going to work out, because the Northern Ireland and actually Ireland, it's like, okay, is Northern Ireland going to still be doing stuff, or have they just done it as a whole island sort of thing?
No, they haven't done this as a whole island because there's still ferries going from Stranraer up here across to Belfast.
Ah, right.
And Brian saying Bonnyrigg has been quite good. It's been like a ghost town most nights. Dumfries is always like a ghost town. They keep on showing Dumfries on the local news programmes with nobody in the town. That's what it's usually like on a busy Saturday.
See, I tried. Oh God, I dropped a piece. I dropped a piece. Where's it gone? Where you go? Oh, I'll find it after. I tried looking at like I put your address in like Google to basically give me a rough idea how long it's going to take to get there. And because there was a street map thing, I was like, oh, let's have a nose.
As you do.
And it was just like, it pointed me into the middle of a field. I was just like, okay. I doubt Wayne lives in the middle of a field.
No, he does.
Unless it's a bunker underground. So I kind of get the feeling that Google Maps and Google Street View have got something wrong somewhere.
No, you can get my cottage on Google Street View.
See, I put Dumfries in. I actually put the whole address and it rubs out. Which one does it rub out? It kind of just crosses out one of them, like some of the address, and then just puts me straight bang in the middle. It puts the little marker in the middle of a field, but then it drops you in like a T junction.
Jane's in the house.
Howdy.
Where?
Oh, Christ. Where you go? Yeah, you don't go there. You go.
Front.
Have you been messing with that bloody soap again?
Maybe.
Oh, it stinks.
It stinks, but it's kept us healthy for so long.
It's kept us healthy because we're all bloody carriers of stuff.
That's true.
That's why I've tried to stay in as much as I can, because I don't really catch anything. I don't really get ill. I'm more of a carrier. Because I've sat next to somebody who had swine flu and never come down with it.
Nice.
And some other stuff, I've been sat next to somebody. And so it's just like, oh, okay. I'm definitely a carrier of random stuff. It's 22. 22. Not looking forward to when I get to 33. Because I know my Irish is going to come out on that one. I love taking Stace to places where they've got a different accent. Because it just looks at me and goes, huh? Because when Dale come round ages ago, she was kind of like, he was talking. I could understand every single word that he was saying. And then she just kind of sat there with a blank look on her face. And after he went, I went, did you understand him? She went, some of it. I was just like, see, I'm used to accents. And again, I'm guessing that was due to the line of work I was in.
Well, you are in that house.
Where I had to go places all around the country and get used to different accents.
Not yet.
Oh no, that's broke a little bit from underneath. Oh well. This puzzle's only really going to be for show. Oh, where did you go? Nope. Yep.
Fred's saying, what about sticking the pattern to a sacrificial piece and stack cutting?
I never actually thought about that. To be honest, I don't know how the blades, the number one blades, handle it. Because I know they can't really cut thick pieces. So I took a risk doing it this thick, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. Because I do try to do any puzzles I have on a thick, like really thick. I think this is 6mm ply. But I'm guessing it's some of the really cheap plywood. I don't even think if this is because when I was pyroing it, it stunk like mad. I had to literally open the window to try and get rid of some of the smell. Where do you go? You got it. No, you don't go there. I get the feeling that's how.
Fred's saying he's cut 2 times 6mm ply with a flat blade. Nick's been using a spiral blade today though, Fred.
Yeah.
Quite a small spiral blade as well.
I know straight blades can handle the thickness because they've only got, because it's a spiral blade, you can go in any direction. So, because when I'm doing my puzzles, I only use spiral blades. I was going to attempt doing a puzzle with a straight blade, but I don't want to risk it just in case.
It would have to be quite a small straight blade as well, though, wouldn't it, to get around the corners?
Yeah. And the only thing is, I wouldn't trust myself enough because I haven't had that much experience with straight blades. I've took the risk before with the other projects I've done. Luckily, the bits where I've had to do a design change on the fly isn't really that noticeable. And the good thing about using spiral blades on a puzzle, even if you do go off the line, you wouldn't notice once all the patterns come off, all the paper or whatever.
Right, so Fred's saying that he's saying Michael Deeren there. Did he not mean Charles Deeren, Fred? Does okay stack cutting with a spiral. Good turn dailies in the house.
Oh, I did remember his name. I can't remember what it was. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Eddie. I don't know if anyone can actually see the pattern or the design coming through yet.
Not quite.
So that's why I'm thinking about colouring the bits, because that way it'll be able to be seen a lot easier. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge to kind of colour it now. I might actually try it with another piece, to be honest. Oh, bugger.
Come and get it. Okay. Okay. Okay, come and see.
How's that go?
No?
No, that's too good.
Well, you're not going to this book as well.
To be honest, there wasn't much pattern on that one.
Hold on.
I see 2 more edge pieces. Yeah, there's an edge piece.
Oh my.
That's not. That's an edge piece. And I think there is another edge piece there, but I can't see it. It's not that one.
No, go to the just above the top of the board, just above the 50 pieces. No, not that one. Next one to it.
That one.
That one. See?
No.
Yeah.
It might be. That's there.
Oh, right.
So it kind of helps a little bit because the outside isn't actually straight.
Properly straight.
I can't cut anything straight. I tried to do my sister a phone stand once my bandsaw blade turned up, and you can tell I have not set it up properly just yet. I think it's to do with the bed. I'm guessing it's not level. That or the blade's drifting. Get off. I am glad that I didn't cut my nails. Because if I had no nails, this would have took a hell of a lot longer. Pretty sure that goes there. I'm wondering now if it would be easier just putting these in and then just pulling them out one by one. See, it's going to be a pain because I've dropped 2 pieces.
Have any of them still got numbers on?
These ones have. The ones
Yeah,
that
well, look for number 49 then.
49 was the one that's already there. Because
I thought you said it went in a worm shape.
I tried to, but it kind of like I kind of got lazy, to put it that way. Because it wants a straight, because some of them was over here and stuff like that, and I think I just kind of like went off a little bit. Come on, I swear you fit there. No, you don't. Right. There's 33. Get in. Oh, come on. You watch that piece that I've dropped. It's going to be an important piece. It's probably going to be the piece that was there.
Yeah, it probably is.
Come on. There it is. Oh, just my luck. I think I know where it went though. Where are you? Oh, there it is. I see it. And
Well, Joy's saying it isn't a puzzle unless there's one piece missing.
to be honest, I'm surprised I'm even doing puzzles because Stace brought me, because I love my dragons, so I've got a lot of dragon puzzles, and she brought me this 3-piece one that made a full picture. Put it on a piece of board that I normally do my puzzles on. Because whenever I get a puzzle, I always go and buy a picture frame and use the cardboard in the back of the picture frame to actually put the puzzle on. And I've just finished the big, massive piece in the middle thought, oh, yeah, I'll go and put this on the side now. And just as I went to put it on the side, the front of it dipped and the whole puzzle slid off. And it was just like, do you know what? I'm not even going to bother touching it.
Yeah, Mike said thanks. That was driving me nuts.
What was?
Having all the bits outside the frame.
To be honest, I'm thinking now it's probably going to be easier to put it together because I ain't got to search for them.
Yeah, and Joy's saying now just take a thin blade to remove the stickers.
See, I would, but because the top layer of this plywood is coming off.
Yeah, it seems a bit fragile.
Yeah, because if you look up just at the top here,
Yeah,
you can see where the top layers come off. And to be honest, I don't think I should have pyroed on this. I don't think it was pyro safe. Because the smell that was coming off it when I was doing it was, yeah, it didn't smell healthy. The only thing is, I bet you once this is done, no one's going to be able to tell what it is. Or no one's going to know what it is.
well, they will if they can read the title at the top.
Yeah. I don't think it's that easy to be seen though, is it?
No, it's not.
I could probably work out there how many pieces it is. Get off. I knew I should have used the actual.
I've just read it, and I still don't know who they are. It's from a game that I used to love playing back in the day. I think they still make them now. I'm not sure. Because it's like my little baby chocobo thing that I did, the yellow bird. That's actually from a game as well. That I'm actually giving it to a mate of mine once we're out of lockdown. I probably could walk up there while we're on lockdown, to be honest. But I'm just lazy and I can't be asked.
You can get closer.
Oh, come on, get.
Wait. Don't get skipped out.
So the kids was out in the back garden and we had to kick them out the front.
All right. So Joy's just saying she's always wanted to sort out a puzzle. It looks like it would be fun.
See, the thing is about the scroll saw that I've found is that it's very relaxing because you've got your pattern in front of you. You know what you've got to cut, so you can just sit there, relax, or stand and relax because you haven't got to think of what you've got to do. Where with wood turning, you've got to kind of imagine the shape of what you want. The only relaxing bit I find of wood turning is the sanding that everyone hates. Especially a certain person in this StreamYard.
You can't be meaning me.
I don't know.
There's a guy up in the Highlands. I'm forgetting his name now. But all of the turning that he just does a tool finish. He doesn't do any sanding.
See, I did a little pen holder upstairs that I've got, and I was testing with a skew to see how much of a good finish I can get. And if you felt it, you can tell that I have not done any sanding on it, but it feels smooth. And it was, I said to Stacey, so it just shows that you can actually get pieces finished without actually having to sand it. But I think that was just a one-off. See, if she actually jumped in the chat, I'd be able to see people saying hi to her. You know what? I'll actually put it like that and take the labels off so people can see what it is. But what I'll do is I'll be crafty.
So Joyce saying her grandmother once told her that jigsaw puzzles were first made by people using scrap pieces of wood to make either extra money or gifts for others.
I could get that. Be good to know when the first jigsaw puzzle was made. See, I love doing jigsaw puzzles. I just kind of I forget what time it is.
Mike's just said he had his laptop sideways so he could see what you were doing, Nick.
I'm guessing you can sort of just about make it out what it looks like. I'm just debating what to use to colour it. I don't really want to use acrylic paints because I could do, I suppose. I know I can't use stains because it basically just runs. So I had a feeling that a few people wouldn't know what it is. And there is some sticky pieces on this, so I am going to have to wipe it down. But nearly done. And close to the 2-hour mark. Kind of threw me off last week because how quick I did that bowl I did. I finished just over 2 hours. I was just like, oh, okay. Now what am I going to do?
Joyce saying use ink, that way you can keep the grain.
I was thinking about using felt tips. Felt tips or pencil crayons.
And David McClernand's put in, Google said the first one was made in 1767.
Bloody hell. See, all the puzzles I keep getting are done by a woman called Anne Stokes. Oh no! Bit of super glue, I'll fix that. I had a feeling that one was a bit too thin.
And Joyce said that stains should work, but you'd have to be very careful and wipe off the excess so it won't bleed.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I've got another piece of this somewhere, so I might experiment a little bit to see what happens and see which one looks better. But I'm definitely going to have to glue that piece back on. I just snapped one of the pegs, or whatever you want to call them. Oh, now we're going to try and get it off without totally ripping it off. There we go.
Joy's asking, have you ever tried using a paint pen?
A paint pen?
Yeah, paint pen. I think you can get, there's quite a few different places sell them. One of the ones that I see advertised a lot on Facebook is through Artesia.
Never heard of it. See, we normally get pencil crayons, but I kind of run off with them to make they'll put them in like bowls and pens. So Stacey sort of refused to buy any more.
And Fred's saying, has anyone tried doing the was jigs, where the picture is not the one on the box? Jane's done quite a few of them. Jane used to do jigsaws all the time. She had a proper jigsaw carrier and everything.
Yeah, Stacey's granddad that enjoys doing them ones.
Oh.
What?
That's fine if I can borrow the hounds.
True.
I heard it, yeah, I heard.
I've got 3 fat kids that they can eat.
See,
I'll mute myself for a second.
yeah, okay. See, I can't wait until the kids go back to school. You know, we love them to bits.
Yes. No matter.
I think we're kind of around them a bit too much now, so they're kind of doing our heads in.
Joyce said the paint pens, they're a bit like felt tips, but they use paint instead of ink.
Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, if you have a look at, if you Google Artesia, Artesia, I'm sure they do them.
I'll have a look in a bit.
Even Hobbycrafts, if you have a look at Hobbycrafts.
See, we haven't got one local to us.
Yeah, but they do mail order.
Oh, yeah. I'll have a look.
And Jane's just said she's sure she's got some metallic ones, the paint pens.
Right.
Mike said he's never tried a was jig, but did complete the baked beans in posse puzzle.
This is going to be a fun thing to do.
Right, Joyce saying, do you guys have year-round schooling or do you have a summer break? Over here, we have Easter break, midterm break, summer break's the longest one, and then they have a break in the autumn and a break at Christmas. It's just that with the lockdown at the moment, nobody's at school. Well, sorry, some are at school. Kids of key workers, I think, are still being schooled.
Yeah, Sandy has to go and do the school thing, don't he? Right.
This good one. Oh, this good one. Put it in.
Right, get onto there. I should have done this on paper. Oh, sorry. I'll do it the quick way. Frame.
No, don't do it.
No, I ain't doing it. What I'll do is I'll do
Yeah, so, yeah, aye, that'll be easier. And then put the frame over it.
I'll just squeeze it together and then I can lift it on. If it wants to lift, come on. Oh,
Oh,
my heart's sunk then. I thought I was having flashbacks of that puzzle that I did that fell over. Get on, you ugly damn thing. Come on, get on there. Get on there. It's just this one bloody piece. Get. Lift on. There we go. There we go. When someone send the SAS, they might be able to do this quicker than me. Oh.
you can't do that, Joy, because it's a chair and it's got a slope on it.
Yeah, I was thinking about kind of sliding it off. Actually, no, I might be able to. This is probably where I say something I shouldn't say. Come on, be good, be nice. I've been nice to you, so be nice to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
There we go. Whew. Right. There we go.
There it is.
It's a bit loose, but yeah. I don't know if anyone can make it out.
Nicely done, Nick.
So what I'll do is I'll throw up a picture of it like that, and then I'll throw up once I've coloured it and stuff. Because I get the feeling that colouring is going to take a while. So, right, let's move the camera so people can see my ugly mush. You okay to come back on?
Yep.
Right. Oh, still
Oh my God, what a shock.
So, right. Whew, thank you everyone for joining. Sorry that it took so long and probably bored a few people watching me put a puzzle together. But I think it looks good in the end. I think it'll definitely look better once it's coloured. Because you'll be able to make it out a lot better.
Yeah.
So, who's on tomorrow? Is it Dale tomorrow?
I think it's deal. I think it's deal tomorrow. Andy's doing Friday as well. Seeing as how Rich isn't on Friday.
Yeah. And then you got Scott on Saturday. And then we've got you tonight.
Yep. Lucky you lot again.
And the funny thing is, you're probably turning a bit of you, ain't you?
Yes, I am. I've decided.
So you've got you tonight turning a bit of you.
Me, yeah, you. No, I know what you mean. Haha.
So, right.
Well, Joy saying she enjoyed it. It was fun.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it as well. Tell you the truth.
To be honest, it's like, yeah, I could have done a bit of turning, but I thought, yeah, that's normally what happens on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm normally turning something, so I thought, you know, for a lunchtime,
I'm not on at lunchtime, Joy. I only did lunchtime this week because Richard's having a week off.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Joy. I misunderstood you there. It's her lunchtime when I'll be on tonight.
Ah, right. So technically, it'd be a lunchtime live for her.
Yeah, technically it's a lunchtime. This is her breakfast one.
Ah, right. Sometimes it is confusing with these time zones. It's like I had Jay messaged me Friday. No, Saturday after my live and went, I thought you was going live at 8. I went, I was. Yeah, well, I got up at 6:30 and you weren't live. So I'm sure it was because I'll start at 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock for you is 5:30 in the morning. So if you got up at 6:30, I still would have been live. And he's like, no, you weren't live. I was like, oh, you probably missed it then.
Yeah, it's probably because of the clocks.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said to him. Our clocks did go back. He went, so it might have been that.
So Fred said he enjoyed it. He's thinking of doing one.
Cool. If you do one, you got to post it so we can see. Enjoys having beans on wood.
Beans and wood, the breakfast of champions.
Okay. So yes. Oh.
So Joy gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning so she can watch these lunchtime lives.
Well, you don't have to, but thank you. To be honest, I was kind of up early this morning. Don't know why. I think I woke up about 6:30 this morning. Bit strange for me. I normally get up at like 11, 11:30 in the afternoon. So
God, I couldn't do that.
no, it's basically because of my tablets. It's knocked my sleeping pattern out. Because I have to take my some of my tablets at like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm normally falling to sleep by then. So once I've took them, I'm wide awake. So it's just like it's threw me out. So yes, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Wayne, for being earworm.
No problem, anytime.
And I'll say thank you to Dale, who's not here, but just in case he rewatches it. So thank you, Dale, for being earworm as well. And I will see everybody tonight, 8 o'clock over on. Is it 8 o'clock? Doing the same as everyone
8
else?
o'clock, yeah, same as usual.
Yeah,
Same as usual.
I'll say most of the lives that everyone does is 8 o'clock, isn't it? Apart from Andy, he does it 9:15. But
yeah.
So yes, I will see you all later. Keep safe, stay indoors, and do whatever. Basically, just do.
Bye all. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks, Joy.
Yes, end.